Not just begging for money. One woman actually had somebody get into a car with her. They are just blown away from all the support. Look, you can see candles, flowers. For all the people who donated dollars for this building, about 5,000 of it gone. Dozens of charges in this indictment. As an alleged gang association is brought to the public's attention, Rockingham County law enforcement told me that they're processing the scene and then they'll know for certain what actually happened with the shooting. The threat here is really safety. If you look at the river, there's a bunch of water where grass usually is, so levels are pretty high. Take a look at all these signs. They were hoping it would be 20%, which is actually on the high end for a local election. You can see here Arrington actually leaving the courthouse with cell phone video that I took after the hearing. The fire is out, but the air is still pretty thick with smoke. It's actually hard to breathe in too deeply. If you kind of look at my feet, you can see there's plenty of snow and ice. There's this laptop which is mounted as opposed to a freehand laptop. That will make things a lot more efficient for officers.
Let's make history, baby! Let's go!
All right, as you can see, there's some excitement here. I'm joined by some of the students. Right, and they did have over 100 with this event, but they do want more, and I'm going to let you hold the goo for the rest of the show.
I'm like, no.
There's a line of law enforcement, so we have evidence collection, there's state police. Right now, they're all inside the gas station trying to process the scene right now. Now, there is no confirmation that it actually was a robbery. Rockingham County law enforcement told me that they're processing the scene and then they'll know for certain what actually happened with the shooting. Bob, people are happy to have the store open. If you actually take a look around, the parking lot's pretty full. A lot of people filling up with gas. There's actually a tractor that stopped to fill up. You can see here, they've had a lot of activity throughout the day because a lot of regulars are coming back. They did have memorials that line the front of the store. Those have been moved inside. You can see a few that are left over. Now, in addition to this, with this being such a familiar store, locals say that with that bright open sign, it really shows a familiar sign of comfort.
Dry River Store, how can I help you?
Paul Kim, Jay and Un's son, now manages the store.
It's nice to have it back open and they can open it with a little bit more comfort knowing that the person that did this is behind bars.
As people pick up food or pump gas, they're happy to get back into a routine.
I'd come in and try different foods all the time. He'd make fun of me because of the stuff that I didn't like, the faces that I would make.
But Trevor Lambert says the memory of what happened to Jay and Un is still fresh. Posters line the checkout counter and walls supporting the Kim family.
The people that come in to not see Jay and Kim like they always had, it's going to be really difficult for just everybody to come in here, even the kids.
Paul Kim says his dad Jay is going through therapy at Centera RMH to learn to walk and talk again.
A few months down the road or a few years down the road, we'll see my dad, being normal as possible. Where you could say hi to him, hey, Mr. Kim, he'll be around, he'll wave at you.
As Jay works through a long recovery, Kim and store workers stock shelves and hope customers will come back.
Not change anything from the past, keep it the same.
Ain't nobody got a store like we do. Nobody's got a store like Dry River Store.
They do have increased security with cameras and more lights. Kim tells me he isn't worried about safety. Paul Kim says that he does feel safe. The sheriff's office has actually been driving by, patrolling this area more than before. Now, as far as the man charged in connection with the double shootings, Javon Arrington will be in court on capital murder charges on May 8th.
Money to help fund cancer research. As
2-year-old Reagan Batten fights to be cancer-free, her caretaker and members of the community held the second annual Ray of Sunshine Festival in Fishersville. Donna Abshire, who takes care of Reagan, is so grateful for all the community support. Now she and others want to pay it forward for other families in the valley whose kids have just been diagnosed with cancer.
You got to do what you got to do to save your baby. Yep, it's a terrible world to walk off into, but we get there and kids are resilient.
And as Reagan slides down the slide, she doesn't seem worried about having to start another round of therapy Monday. Donna Abshire holds Reagan, who she calls her ray of sunshine. At just 2, she's had 6 rounds of chemo, surgery to remove a tumor, and now antibody therapy.
Upon completion, hopefully we're going to beat this monster altogether.
People give blood, hoping to help cancer patients. Donation jars fill up, all proceeds going to UVA Children's Hospital and local patients.
It's a rare cancer, what she has, but I know other children that are right along our journey with us that have cancer, so we need to raise awareness. You know, the government only gives 3.8% of NIH-funded money to support children's cancer.
Reagan is the first recipient of antibody therapy for neuroblastoma at UVA Children's Hospital, something her doctor, Dr. Brian Bellia, says isn't readily available locally. But thanks to it, her survival rate has increased to 60%.
Unless you know someone who's been affected, people don't realize how many children each year are diagnosed with cancer. And so raising awareness for that problem and having people donate money helps the cause.
Funds, Dr. Bellia says, are being raised by nonprofits and other events like this one because of a lack of federal funds. As Reagan wins the war against neuroblastoma, she has some advice for other patients.
Woohoo!
A message the community echoes with their support. Reagan will be going through another round of antibody treatment starting tomorrow. If she relapses, Donna says there's no cure. Last year, the festival raised thousands of dollars. If you'd like to donate for cancer research, we have a link with this story on our website, WHSV.com. Cabs are one alternative that some people use, whether that's for errands or even scheduled hospital visits. I rode along with a taxi driver today to see just how busy they were firsthand.
A lot of people with four-wheel drives think they can just go in the snow, and that's not how it rolls.
Terry Stickley called a cab to get a ride home from work. For this drive, she usually asks a friend for a ride.
You do not know how many times me and my friend come home from work and have to worry about other drivers. It's unbelievable.
Despite the weather, snow days can be good days for cab drivers like Vic Morris.
Usually a pretty good money day, so I like snow days.
Some had to make a routine trip and they ventured out in this weather.
I just call the cab because I just need to come to the laundromat to wash my clothes.
And Montage, check.
It wasn't all smooth sailing. There were a few turns and more risky maneuvers.
I've never gotten stuck in the snow in 21 years of driving a cab except once, and they had to send one of those big tow trucks to get us both out.
They're the ones that's out in the snow. Yeah, they do good.
With the chance for more snow overnight, Terry has some advice.
You have to look out for every other driver. You have to be vigilant.
It really depends on the situation, but with apartment complexes and that kind of thing, they'll sometimes ask people to go to the edge of a facility so that they don't have to go up a hill and get stuck.
That makes sense.
And they could have more difficulties tonight with these roads turning icy. You know, there is the potential for a little bit of danger there.